Ani sego wache bojo pego tit. Senecas knomagem gum mina mampi akingetek mi gwenda enagdanjgejik. Nishnabek wendat minahod nashoni. Dap nanan Treaty 13 Toronto Purchase. Ganos Wind Kadmuat Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. Minwa Williams Treaty Ginos Wind Kadmuat Mississaugas Minachipwas. Kinago Enching Treaty Vemadsajik Ab Dekwo Hui Mondo Kime Kinamadwin Man Na Dendwin. Minwa Hui Nagdwin Mang Nomgo Manda Kigiyabe En Daat Yawan Mibna Nishnabek Mina Meiti Mina Inuit Kitchenenda Me Kina Mamwewi Nagdwenj Ge Man Da Ake Mina Nebish.
Thank you for joining us. Please be seated.
Well, good morning and a very warm welcome to this Seneca Polytechnic convocation ceremony. It's great to see so many of you here, both in the hall and I know joining us through our webcast being watched around the globe. But you know, this is not just a ceremony. It's also a celebration of persistence, of accomplishment, and of just plain hard work. And it's a day of thanks as well. And graduates, let me express on your behalf deep gratitude to all the family and friends who supported you along your journey to this hall. So let's acknowledge all that they've done to help you get across the finish line. Let's give your family and friends a big round of applause. Thank you very much. Of course, Seneca faculty and staff take great pride in the achievement that we are marking today. They're gathered here on the stage. There are many throughout the hall. In fact, can I ask all the Seneca faculty and staff on the stage to please stand up and be recognized? Let's give them a big round of applause as well. Thank you very much. And don't forget about yourself, graduates. Now, part of what is great about Seneca is the diversity among our students. Just look at who joined us today. Some of you came to us directly out of high school and are earning your very first post-secondary credential. Some of you balanced full-time jobs as you went through your program. Some of you raised children while studying late into the night. And some of you arrived in Canada not long ago and built a new life while going to Seneca. And some of you returned to school after many years because the world is changing and you chose to change with it. Talk about determination and talk about drive. And you did it. You deserve it. We're very proud of you. Give yourself a big hand. Well done. Now, when I'm preparing my remarks for convocation, I often build upon a book or an article that I think will be meaningful to you graduates at this noteworthy juncture of your life. Today, I'm going to reference a speech, now a very famous speech, a speech that was given a month ago by our Prime Minister, Mark Carney, at the World Economic Forum in Davos. Now, regardless of your political leanings, the attention and even adulation that that speech received around the globe was unprecedented, particularly, I have to say, for a Canadian Prime Minister. It was splashed across the front page of the New York Times, The Guardian in the UK. It headlined news shows in dozens of countries. Clips of the speech were shared across social media platforms. It received praise, and that's rare praise, even from the leader of the official opposition in Ottawa. So now why? Well, some said it was because the Prime Minister spoke truth to power and didn't smother his words in the usual diplomatic niceties and euphemistic generalities. Others used the analogy of the children's tale and said it was because Mr. Carney wasn't afraid to say that the emperor had no clothes, by which they meant that he called out the obvious frictions in the world, even if it meant angering the more powerful. In fact, and I think this is so relevant to you graduates, I think the power of his speech is that he deliberately, calmly, and factually described the state of the world today, while at the same time pointing the way to a more hopeful, challenging but more hopeful future for the Canadas of the world. And that kind of practical, down-to-earth approach resonated with me because it's what you graduates are all about. So I thought I would take a few key phrases from the Prime Minister's speech and repurpose them for these remarks on this convocation day. Now, one of the most memorable lines from his speech was how he described the world now. We're in a rupture, not in a transition. Look at the world around us and the seismic shifts that are happening, whether economic, environmental, technological, or social. If it feels to you like the pace of change is speeding up, it's because it is. And that acceleration happening across all fronts leads to a second line from the Prime Minister's speech, one that has been repeated so often already that it is turning into a cliche. In times like these, Mr. Carney said, nostalgia is not a strategy. In other words, we can't look back and wish the world would just return to some kinder, gentler time. But you know that. Because whether you are 20 years old or 60 years old, by graduating, you have already shown that you're not looking in the rearview mirror or living in the past. You are in the real world, the world, for good or bad, that we have today. By choosing your program and committing yourself to your educational journey, you made an active choice to be ready for the present and to be prepared for whatever the future brings as well. And the third quotation from Mr. Carney's speech is one that I think that everyone at Seneca could subscribe to. We actively take on the world as it is, not wait for the world as we wish it to be. And that is exactly what you have done to reach this convocation stage today. Some of you adapted to entirely new fields because industries were disrupted. Some of you pursued credentials to advance in your careers or to start again. Some of you took courses and programs outside your comfort zone, pushing yourself to build brand new skills. But all of you chose to take on the world as it is, not as you wish it might be. Now, some observers found the roots of the Prime Minister's speech, and in fact how he approaches his work and his life, in a book he wrote a few years ago before getting into elected politics. The title is Values, and it carries a double meaning. Mr. Carney's an economist, and so he's well versed in the value of things, how much they're worth, and how that could be translated into money. But in this book, he wanted to talk about values, what's important in life, the beliefs that we bring to our communities, our work, and our world. And I think the values he outlines are worthy companions for your next chapter and for whatever comes next now that you have graduated. He enumerated 7 values. First is dynamism, which is being willing to innovate, to adapt, and to create solutions. Nurture that ability to embrace new technologies, to learn new things, to take on new challenges throughout your entire life. Next is a word that you frequently heard as you were living through the pandemic: resilience. Each of you has lived resilience, juggling work while studying, navigating economic uncertainties, managing family responsibilities, or finding confidence to return after years away from school. Your resilience is not theoretical. It's grounded in the reality of your success. Another value is sustainability, thinking and doing for the long term, not just for the planet, but about careers, about colleagues, about communities. Fairness, a universal value, means expanding opportunity for all, addressing growing inequalities around the globe, as well as happening in this country. The fifth value is responsibility and being accountable for the choices we make in workplaces, in communities, and our personal lives. And you get this. You have shouldered your responsibilities admirably. Solidarity, not a value you hear from former central bank governors very often, but solidarity reminds us that we're all connected. Community and collective action reflect the benefit of mutual support. And finally, seventh, humility, admitting you don't have all the answers, always willing to learn, earning trust through honesty. Values infuse our lives with meaning. They give our actions context. They make our contributions worthwhile. Live good values, and you will lead a good life. Now, if we are, as Mr. Carney says, in a rupture, then the world needs people who can navigate uncertainty, people who have lived through change, not simply studied it, people who understand that learning is not something you ever finish, people who believe that progress is not automatic, but intentionally built day by day, decision by decision, brick by brick. In other words, graduates, the world needs you. Now, let me leave you with one final quote from the Davos speech. In suggesting how to navigate the challenging and choppy waters of contemporary international relations, the Prime Minister said that if you're not at the table, then you're on the menu. It's a rather vivid phrase, but let's put it in the context of where you go next. To me, being at the table, not on the menu, being at the table is a clarion call to get involved, to participate, to engage in communities wherever we find them. So employ your skills and talents and experience in the service of others, not just yourself. In short, just don't make a living, but make a life. That is solidarity, that is fairness, and that is humility. And so now, graduates, take your place at the table. Thank you for choosing Seneca and for joining the hundreds of thousands of our alumni found around the world. We're so proud of your accomplishments and everything that you've done to get to this convocation stage today. But as much as you have done thus far, I can't wait to see what you do next. Thank you very much. Now, as our first group of graduates gets ready to cross the stage, let me share with you a couple of things that you should know about the ceremony. Now, I say to the graduates, out of respect and courtesy for your fellow graduates, all of whom worked as hard as you did to be here today, please stay in your seats, except, of course, for when you're coming up to be congratulated. Let's celebrate everyone's graduation, from the very first graduate to cross the stage to the very last. And to the guests of the graduates, please, that goes for you as well. We ask that you remain in your seats for the ceremony. There will be time for everyone to connect after the ceremony at the reception, but of course the reception doesn't start until the ceremony is over. So here's what's going to happen. Each graduate is going to come across the stage individually. Their name will be announced and it will appear as they do on the screen. And a reminder that we are live streaming this, but a copy of that live stream will be available on our website shortly after the ceremony is over. So you can just go to senecapolytechnic.ca/convocation and you can see it again, or if you've missed anything. So this is an appropriate moment to thank all the individuals, companies, and associations who have donated to scholarships and bursaries to support our students through their academic journey. Through their donations, they've not only given much deserved recognition to the hard work that brought so many students here today, but in fact, for some of the students who will be crossing the stage today, Those scholarships, those bursaries made the difference about whether they could be here or whether they had to quit school and get a job. So it's that important. So let's give a big round of applause for all of our scholarship and bursary winners and the donors who made it happen. So this morning, joining me to congratulate the graduates is Pukraj Singh Gujral, the CEO of INSCOL. Thank you for joining us. The namers for this ceremony are Christopher Sachin and Julia Payton. And now, between groups of graduates, we have 3 groups of graduates who are crossing the stage. Between groups, we will be sharing special messages from elected officials, our wonderful alumni, and our valedictorians. And I'm delighted to say that we have not 1, not 2, but we have 3 of your valedictorians with us this morning. Please welcome Deborah Ann Crook, graduating from the Honors Bachelor of Child Development Program. Janelle Sandy, graduating from the Personal Support Worker Program. And Ian Glynn Williams, graduating from the Paralegal Certificate Program. Thank you all for joining us. You will see more of them in the valedictorian video. Now, finally, I have been asked about this medallion I'm wearing. It was a gift from Indigenous students I met in Odato, and that's the home of the First Peoples at Seneca. It's at Newnham campus, and you saw images of it in our land acknowledgement video. It's a beautiful example of beading, and in the center is a representation of Sammy, who of course is the Seneca Sting mascot. And I wear it with much appreciation and humility, and it looks like we're ready to go. Thanks very much.
Nursing Leadership Management, Muna Banmala with honors. Leah Flor Lissandra Galera with honors. Harjashan Kaur with honors. Lisu Casey with honors. Ravneet Kaur with honors. Nep Vincent Penalosa Lonzaga. Bhumi Mahi Patbai Parmer. Raj Kumar. Sahil. Adelia Tan Salcido with honors. Ranjita Shrestha with honors. Gulbag Singh with high honors. Malika Suchatre with honors. Babitra Tamang with honors. Goma Thapa with honors. Chaitali Giri Chandra Tundia. Arlo Tutan with honors. Darshan Hiteshbai Vagela. Let's take a moment to congratulate this group of graduates.
As our newest Seneca graduates, you will be joining nearly 300,000 Seneca alumni across the globe. Here are messages of congratulations from some of your fellow alumni.
Hello, greetings, graduating class. Ooh, you all look fabulous.
Wow,
Y'all did it.
And you really deserve to honestly kick up your feet and pat yourselves on the back.
When it is your time to shine, your time to thrive.
You guys made it. Congratulations. Now the real hero's journey begins.
A lot of what I learned in school at Seneca, I did apply in my career. You have been in good hands.
Remembering my times at Seneca and thinking just how great it was to have practical knowledge and be doing the thing I wanted to do.
This is what's so cool about the opportunity that you are in right now. You can carve your own. You can find that path that you want to trailblaze down or walk down and make it your own and use all of the education and the experiences that you learned over the last couple of years and implement that.
If I could offer just one piece of advice, it would be to focus on the journey, not the destination. For all of you who are chasing dreams, I think that's fantastic, but don't forget to appreciate the journey and all the life lessons you're going to learn along the way. And for those of you who have no idea what the destination is, that's okay too. I always say it's okay. Just because you wander doesn't mean you're lost.
Be where your feet are, shine bright like a diamond, and remember, the only competition you have is yourself.
Lean into what makes you special, what makes you different, what is authentic to who you are, and that is where you'll find success.
I'm in my dream job, and you will be too.
When you're out there, be kind, treat people with respect, and just be nice. And keep remembering to always, always, always have fun.
I look forward to you being the change makers, the influencers, and the leaders.
Congratulations. Job well done. You survived, you did it, and you're here. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you. I hope you're as excited for your future as I am. Congratulations on this massive accomplishment.
Congratulations on graduating.
Have a great grad.
Congratulations. Much love from Mocha.
Best of luck moving forward.
One recent grad, 'cause I ain't that old, to a new recent grad, good luck and congratulations.
It's now time to meet our valedictorians. This group of 7 outstanding individuals have achieved academic excellence, demonstrated leadership, and contributed to student life at Seneca. They are honored to represent all of you here today.
This is the mic.
Hi.
Time to shine.
Hi, everybody.
Is my hair good? Yeah.
Okay, let's get started.
It's an honor to represent my fellow graduates as a valedictorian.
Finally, we made it. Woo! Let's go.
Happy graduation. We have overcome many struggles, but here we are. We did it.
I'm so proud of you. You guys are so wonderful.
My time at Seneca was spectacular, engaging, illuminating.
One of the biggest things I'll remember is the people that I met.
Different cultures, so it's very fun to be a part of that.
I came here to learn, to get education, and I got educated.
Seneca's professors are awesome.
Friendly. That's the first thing I was impressed by.
You get what you need from the program while having some fun.
They're just there to make sure that we succeed.
Without this, I wouldn't have landed my first co-op. After my co-op, I wouldn't have landed my first job.
You know, that character that you build in everything you do makes you valuable.
Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Gracias.
Yay, Seneca proud.
Oh, wow. I did not get to the finish line by myself.
I'd like to thank my family for always being there for me.
Second is my friends. I couldn't have made it here without them.
My husband. The community I am going to miss so badly. It was so much fun coming to school, so I'm going to miss that part.
What is next? World domination, of course.
Hey, let's go.
So right now, I'm currently working as a gym teacher.
I'm working as an AV technician.
I would like to own a respite home for special needs children.
If you are a new graduate who is heading out, bring your whole self, your authentic self.
Whatever you learn from Seneca, just take it out there and just make a world a better place.
Congratulations, everyone. We made it.
We're free now.
So go out there and shine.
You can do it.
Go Seneca.
Congratulations to all the graduates. We did it!
How about another big hand for Deborah and Janelle and Ian for that great Victorian video? And Ian, your hair was perfect, just like it is now. So now this is a big crowd, so to make it easier for the graduates to connect with their family and their friends and their professors, we're going to ask graduates from the Faculty of Continuing Education to use the upper level and everybody else to use the main level. So to get to the upper level, go to the lobby, escalators, elevators, stairs, all there, up to the second floor. So now that means community and health programs and the Nanji School of Nursing use the main level. So we're just about done, but this gets a little complicated, so bear with me. At this point, I'd like to ask graduates from the in-school programs to remain in the ceremony hall while everybody else goes to the reception. Now, the reason for this, and when I went to school, if you were asked to stay behind, it wasn't good. Happened quite often. But this is good because the in-school grads are actually registered nurses in their own countries. They've come to Canada, they study at Seneca, and they then often join the Canadian healthcare system. And it's a tradition, it's a Seneca tradition that we have a group photo. So that's why we're asking them to stay behind. Yes. So again, continuing education, second floor, everybody else on the main floor for the reception. So that's where you can meet your family and friends. That's where you can meet your professors. And so now at this point, I'm going to ask everybody to stand while first the platform party and then the graduates, except of course for in-school, depart the hall. And please do not party too hard tonight because you have to get up early tomorrow morning to watch Canada win the gold. I declare this convocation ceremony officially closed.